An off weekend for the Badgers. They're back on the field next Saturday in Soldier Field, taking on the Notre Dame Fighting Irish in a game fans no doubt have been waiting for a long, long time. We'll still have some conversation with head coach Paul Chryst. Last weekend was Hall of Fame weekend. Not one, but two classes inducted. We'll get Coach Chryst's thoughts on that. We'll check in with wide receiver Kendric Pryor as well. All of that and more coming up on this week's edition of the Badger Sports Report.
First and goal at the 6. Lucy, the running back. And the give goes to Ches up the middle to the 5 to the end zone. Touchdown, Wisconsin. There it is. He is in. And this time they do finish, and the Badgers are on the board. Berger, the running back, works under his center. He'll take, gives to Berger, straight ahead, inside the 5. Berger to the end zone. Touchdown, Wisconsin. Jalen Berger from 6 yards away is in for the first time this season.
A lot of guys got to get their bodies right this bye week. You know, we have a big following week with Notre Dame. So, you know, just focus on getting our bodies back right and focusing on football the next couple of weeks.
Big games are coming up. We got like 10 straight at least after this bye. So get as healthy as you can physically and prepare as much as you can mentally. And just get ready to go. I mean, we got a long stretch and a lot of big games throughout that stretch, so just trying to get ready as best we can.
Play fake, Mertz, back to throw, lines up. He's a deep right side, DK got it. Touchdown, Wisconsin! Met behind the line of scrimmage and thrown down by Leo Chanel. Touchdown, Wisconsin! Kendric Pryor! Mertz floats it deep left side, dropped it in the bucket. There is a big, big win for the Wisconsin Badgers.
The Badger Sports Report with Paul Chryst is presented by UW Health, the healthcare team for the Badgers. Learn more at uwsportsmedicine.org. And is brought to you by the Construction Business Group, Wisconsin operating engineers and respected contractors. BuildingWisconsinTogether.com.
When you've been injured, you need the hometown team on your side. Trust us to get you back in the game. Call Wisconsin's own Gruber Law Offices, proud partner of Wisconsin Badger Athletics. One call, that's all.
You'll hear things like, you're gonna need to see a specialist.
That what you have is serious, like really serious.
And then you meet them, your medical team.
With research and clinical trials and new treatments.
With better procedures that lead to better results.
Then it hits you, you're gonna be okay.
UW Health. Remarkable medicine. Remarkable care.
Hard work, sweat, knowledge in your own two hands. These are the tools that build Wisconsin. Leave your mark on the real world with zero debt and higher pay. All from day one. It's time to do work that works for you. Learn more at buildingwisconsintogether.com.
On this game day, Good Foods Guacamole would like to salute all you players, no matter what you seem to be playing. You, sir, are a winner. You, ma'am, triumphant, and thumbs up to whatever it is you're doing. So let's hoist a guac-laden chip to all you players out there. Good Foods Guac, made from the freshest avocado and the cleanest ingredients. So here's to all the players and whatever game it is they're trying to play. Game day is Guac Day. Good Foods Guac.
Injured? You need a team you can trust. Call Gruber Law Offices today, serving the people of Wisconsin for over 30 years. Gruber Law Offices, a proud partner of Wisconsin Badger Athletics. One call, that's all.
Out of the shotgun, takes the snap, Badgers rushing 3. Clifford is hammered inside the 5 to 25-yard line. Oh, Nick Herbig getting there in a hurry. Mertz will hand it to Allen, over the top, and he's in. Touchdown, Wisconsin. Braylon Allen his first score as a Badger.
No game, of course, on Saturday for the Badgers. They're back at it next Saturday at Soldier Field in Chicago to take on Notre Dame. We'll touch on the Irish with Coach Chryst here in a few minutes, but we have a little bit of extra time now, Paul. And last weekend was Hall of Fame weekend. It's obviously a big weekend every year on campus. Every year you can have it. This year there were two classes inducted, the 2020 and the 2021 Hall of Fame class, and certainly congratulations to all of them. So many great stories in all the sports represented. But I was talking to Chris McIntosh about this. O-Line U has a couple new members, Aaron Gibson and Gabe Karimi. I know you're familiar, especially with Gabe and the career he had at Wisconsin. I would think very, very much deserving to be in the Hall of Fame.
It is, and really you talk about both Aaron and Gabe, and truly deserving of it. And maybe it is cool that we can truly celebrate offensive linemen here. But you go anywhere in what those two have done. And you're right, I was really fortunate to be with Gabe, and even just seeing him and talking to him before, afterwards, and how much that meant to him, and had a chance to kind of reflect back on not only his journey, but the group of guys that he went through it with, and the lessons learned. And equally proud of Gabe for not just what he did here in his time and how he did it, but what he's doing now. He's got a beautiful family and successful in his own business venture, and yet a lot of the lessons that he took from football in his time here, he says he applies them every day. But it was, you can't help but also be a fan, you know what I mean? And all the different names as they come up, and you kind of catch them, and it was pretty cool with the crowd and the reaction when announced Bo, and then obviously you talk about last year's class, Ted Kellner, what he's meant to this place, and Ron Leafblad the same, but Ted, that was really neat, and so I think all of them, and it's quite an honor and a neat thing, because you get all the different athletes from different sports, but boy, there's greatness. It's common, and it's worth celebrating.
You touched on it, how meaningful it is for all of them. And, in some cases I wonder, somebody like a Ted Kellner who has done so much and never expects anything in return. But, visited with him before the event, and then when he's up on the podium, it takes about 3 seconds to realize how much it does mean to him and for everybody involved. You have people who get emotional. This is one of those, they all matter, right? Any Hall of Fame matters. This one, though, for all of them, it just seems extra special.
I think so, because it's so, I can only imagine, but it's, they invested so much, and this place means probably a little bit different to each one, but there's got to be some common themes, and obviously what they did was worth celebrating. It was pretty unique, and yet I think it also impacts it when you're with a class and you realize the greatness around you, and that this makes it kind of unique, and you're in that class, and so it's this place means so much to so many people, and when you're inducted into that Hall of Fame, it's got to mean a ton.
You mentioned Bo a couple of minutes ago. Obviously, you have known him forever, right? And I asked him before what makes you the most proud, and probably a lot of things. You could rattle off a lot of statistics, but the consistency to be able to be as good as his teams were year after year, that's something that has to be off the charts difficult to accomplish.
It really is, and that is so impressive, because it's so incredibly hard to do. I think about that with Bo. I think about what Mark Johnson is doing, and I shouldn't say Mark or Bo, but they were the coaches of those teams. That is so, it's hard to do once, and then to do it over and over, and like you said, being so consistent, that is remarkable.
Yep. Again, congratulations to all the Hall of Famers. It's really, if you're new to the area, or if you're maybe a more casual Badger fan, you really, look these people up, because the stories are remarkable in all of the sports, all of the athletes through the years, all of the special service representatives like a Ted Kellner, like a Ron Leafblad. They help these athletes chase their dreams, and it really is. It's a special night, and it was again last week on the UW campus. Stay with us. We have more to come with the head coach as we continue with the Badger Sports Report.
We believe in education. We believe in public schools. At WEA Member Benefits, we believe in helping Wisconsin public school employees and their families achieve their financial goals by providing personal insurance, retirement and investment, and financial planning programs that are designed specifically for the education community. WEAbenefits.com.
My favorite breakfast is Odyssey yogurt. I asked Mommy where it comes from, and she took me to a dairy farm to learn all about milk and, most importantly, cows. Wisconsin cows are definitely the happiest, which means they make the tastiest yogurt. My favorite is blueberry. What's your flavor? Support your local farmers. EIEI Odyssey.
Penn State late getting its personnel on the field. Mertz hands off Malusi over the left side. Touchdown, Wisconsin! Chaz Malusi into the end zone, and the Badgers are in.
Back at it next Saturday for the Badgers as they take on Notre Dame at Soldier Field. Much anticipated game for the fan base, no doubt. Both fan bases, as a matter of fact. Paul, last week we touched on the bye week and how you like to approach it here this week. I remember when Barry was coaching, he always thought this is a good time to self-scout. Well, you guys have played 2 games. So maybe the better question is, in a general sense, in the rhythm of the season, how much time can you as a staff go back and take a look at yourself and what you guys are doing and how you're doing it?
Yeah, I think that, it's important to do. And I think it's important for a number of reasons. One, what you're doing and how you're doing it is probably the most important thing. And that's what you can impact the most. And the other reason why I think it's important is that is what your opponent is looking at. So I think there's different ways that you can weave it into the week. So kind of reminders to your players, and also certainly you're going to go a little bit more in depth as a coach. Whether you're, sometimes you're creating some tendencies and you're trying to build that, and then when is the time to break those tendencies, or what is it that we're doing well, what isn't it that's keeping us from doing something well, and maybe it's just something little. And so I think you're always self-scouting, and like you said, over the bye it was 2 games in, and yet I think you still can find some things for your players, and you want to I think every week you try to find something they can truly work on that's not necessarily specific to the game plan, but they can keep working on and improving upon.
We've had this running joke with Mark Tauscher about, whenever the bye week is, perfect time for a bye. For a young player, though, I'm thinking of a Hunter Wolder, Braylon Allen, Jack Nelson, redshirt freshman, getting a couple of starts under his belt. Maybe there's something, you have to embrace it whenever it is, but for those guys, say, okay, here's how it works. You hit the pause button for a few minutes, whatever it is. Is that how you have to look at it in part, having a bye as early as you have it?
Yeah, I think it is. And Tausch is right. You do, every coach will say it, and talk to ourselves into it. It's a great time for a bye, and because that is the bye, and you better get something out of it. And I think you got to get something out of it, something you can do. I think part of it is too, like you said, a chance to reset, recharge, refocus, and certainly we're going into a long stretch, and yet I think it kind of helps you prepare for that as well. So the big thing was that we took advantage of the bye, and certainly think we did so.
With Notre Dame coming up, the Irish playing obviously this weekend against Purdue, you'll have it. You're going to face a team probably coming off a bye later. There's always that media question. Advantage to anybody? Extra time to prepare. Does it make that much of a difference?
I think probably where it makes a difference is depending on the health of your team, or a couple key individuals, and if they're close to getting by, and that you don't know. So I think that it's like anything. It's you can find advantages to it, and you can find when you're in a rhythm and you want to stay in that rhythm, that's a positive. But in all this it is what it is, and that's okay, and you embrace it, and you got to do a good job of if you're coming off a bye, make sure you do enough things during that time of preparation that you're not losing the speed of the game. And you just got to make sure that you try to cover it, and then you go out and play the game.
And against a game against a storied program, obviously, I know your focus is on, okay, what can the Badger offense do against Notre Dame's defense, and Jimmy's doing the same thing with his defense against their offense. But I also know you appreciate the history of the game. I don't know if you can spare 30 seconds. Time is short, right? But a game of significance like this, I know they're all significant, but players, I would imagine that's why you come to a place like Wisconsin to be involved in games like this.
Yeah, I think what you just said at the end is what's most important, is that you look forward to playing really good teams. And, it's always been interesting, and a number of our players have had the opportunity to kind of play in stadiums that, they're certainly not ones you naturally play in. And so I think that I think your older players enjoy playing against really good teams, and your young players, I think they enjoy it, but they also can gain a lot from it and can learn and grow from those games.
Yeah, it'd be a fun one. The Badgers and Notre Dame, again, an early kickoff down at Soldier Field, 11 a.m. for the Badgers and the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. Stay with us. We have more to come as we continue with the Badger Sports Report.
Compeer Financial has always been there for our clients and communities in any situation. And our support continues today as our clients work relentlessly to feed, clothe, and fuel the world. Compeer is proud to continue our strong commitment to our clients, the rural communities where they live, and to agriculture. We're here to help meet the financial needs of rural America. And we'll navigate through this together.
You'll hear things like, you're gonna need to see a specialist.
That what you have is serious, like really serious.
And then you meet them, your medical team.
With research and clinical trials and new treatments.
With better procedures that lead to better results.
Then it hits you, you're gonna be okay.
UW Health. Remarkable medicine. Remarkable care.
On second down, Hornibrook play fake, rolls off to his left, looking, throws in zone. That is caught by Kendric Pryor. Touchdown, Wisconsin. Left corner of the end zone. Badgers are in again, and it's 23-0, Wisconsin. Kendric Pryor motions to the right, jet sweep right, Pryor 35-40, Pryor 45-50, down the sideline, 45-40, 35-30, breaks the tackle, gone, 20, 10, 5, touchdown, Wisconsin, Kendric Pryor, 66 yards.
We've talked a lot about the younger players on this team, but hey, the veterans are really good as well, and that includes in the receiving core. You got Danny Davis, and you got this guy, Kendric Pryor, back for another year. Kendrick, one of the things I asked Matt Henningsen when I talked to him recently is you all love the game, that's why you play it. But when injuries happen and it takes away games, there's that old line about it makes you love it even more and eager to come back. Was that the case with you?
Oh yeah, definitely. Last year, probably all the way like my moped accident. Last year was probably the most I've ever missed in my whole life. Actually, like going all the way down to Little League to high school. Like God forbid that. Luckily, I've been blessed to not be injured throughout my career as much, but just like having like last year having that time off and just kind of seeing like how like the way things were going with the offense, just having that job, like that burning desire in my heart, my mind, like man, I wish I was out there, like, and then that kind of like planning my decision to come back, just things not going the way they did last year for me or for the team at all. And just kind of me having that extra year coming back to like, I'm going to finish off on a good note, like on a high note.
It was nice to actually have a off-season program too, right? And spring ball and all that good stuff.
Like last year was just crazy because like, I want to say maybe even this point in the summertime, we still didn't know, or maybe we might have just been just finding out that we had a season, or because it was kind of like we went home for spring break. After like our spring break, everything shuts down, no spring ball. Then in the summertime, not knowing for sure if we're gonna have a season, and then I don't think it was required for like the first month for us to be here. So like some people, which is fine, like some people still are at home training with their trainers and stuff, and it's just like this summer we got to have like that normal like team atmosphere, like us coming out working together, not being 6 feet apart. Like even on the field last year, like we have to be 6 feet away from each other. It's just like it was just different. Like I know it was different for everybody, but it definitely was like just kind of a weird thing going on.
This schedule is as maybe it's as challenging, at least on paper, as any that I think folks around here have seen for a long, long time. But I've always thought, Kendric, through the years, you guys would have it no other way.
Oh yeah,
right? Because it was like every game, every week, it's a spotlight kind of game.
Yeah, this kind of reminds me of my freshman year, 2016, when we played
with LSU. Yep.
And just kind of, not saying like everyone this year's writing us off or anything, but just I know at least like that year, just people thought like with that schedule we had, like people thought we were going to be 500 at best, and just that just just gives us a little motivation, like puts a chip on our shoulder, just how people think, like, or just like having that mindset, okay, like this what people think, like we don't even try to worry about the outside noise as much because none of that stuff really matters when it comes to until Saturday in between those lines behind us. So just people are always gonna have an opinion to say, but like we hear things and we take it as motivation. Just like having that mindset, like okay, people think this, like we gotta have that mindset, or we're gonna go out there and prove them wrong and just show them like what this team is really capable of.
Yeah, no doubt. As you go through this season, I mean, you're obviously working to get better every day. You're trying to win as many games as you can. But can you give yourself a chance to kind of take it all in a little bit more? If it's the 80,000, if it's just everything that goes into being a college football player, can you let yourself enjoy that maybe more than ever this year?
Oh yeah, just for one, you always gotta have fun out here. Even though like, it's college football. It's a little bit bigger stage than high school. Big fan, a lot of fans. You play at different stadiums, different teams. Like probably teams you heard of growing up. Like you probably thought back in the day were like, oh, like you were in shock when you like see them on TV or like watch those games, but now like you're playing them teams on a weekly basis. It's kind of like I always say, just have fun, because if you're not having fun out here while you're doing it, then it'll make it hard when things not going your way. And then just kind of just being my last year, just me remembering that like we still want to be locked in, come out here, take care of business, but it's also about having fun. Like if you're not out here having fun, it's going to be kind of difficult for you, because football is a tough game.
It's a little tough if you're not having fun, right? It's a long game to play.
It's a tough game, and then if you're not having fun, it'll even be more tough. So it's like, just remember to, like, I kind of try to keep myself, because I do get myself, sometimes, not having as much fun, but that's just me wanting to be a perfectionist, like wanting me to do everything perfect, but it just, you always got to remember to have fun. It's still a game you've been playing since you were however when you started, or however when we started playing. I think I was 9 when I first started playing. So it's still the same game I've been playing my whole life, but it is on a bigger, I know it's on a bigger, like a little bit bigger stage and stuff, but it's just still coming out having that mindset, just having fun out here, man, because having fun out here, it just makes everything seem so much easier, run smoother, trust your guys more, teammates more, just more comfortable, and it's just so much better when you're having fun versus not having fun out here.
I know a lot of people have fun watching you play. Good luck to you this year.
Oh, thank you so much.
Big play guy, Kendric Pryor, part of that talented receiving corps here for the Badgers. Stay with us. We have more to come on the Badger Sports Report.
Hard work, sweat, knowledge in your own 2 hands. These are the tools that build Wisconsin. Leave your mark on the real world with 0 debt and higher pay. All from day one. It's time to do work that works for you. Learn more at buildingwisconsintogether.com.
On this game day, Good Foods Guacamole would like to salute all you players, no matter what you seem to be playing. You, sir, are a winner. You, ma'am, triumphant, and thumbs up to whatever it is you're doing. So let's hoist a guac-laden chip to all you players out there. Good Foods Guac, made from the freshest avocado and the cleanest ingredients. So here's to all the players and whatever game it is they're trying to play. Game day is Guac Day. Good Foods Guac.
The Badger Sports Report with Paul Chryst is presented by UW Health, the healthcare team for the Badgers. Learn more at uwsportsmedicine.org. And is brought to you by The Construction Business Group, Wisconsin operating engineers and respected contractors. BuildingWisconsinTogether.com.
So back to it now. No more buys for the Wisconsin Badgers as this 10-week run, and hopefully more, will begin next Saturday at Soldier Field in Chicago as the Wisconsin Badgers take on the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. Kickoff will be 11 a.m. Central Time. We'll talk to you next week. Thanks for watching.
This has been a presentation from Learfield.
You'll hear things like, you're gonna need to see a specialist.
That what you have is serious, like really serious.
And then you meet them, your medical team.
With research and clinical trials and new treatments.
With better procedures that lead to better results.
Then it hits you, you're gonna be okay.
UW Health. Remarkable medicine. Remarkable care.
We believe in education. We believe in public schools. At WEA Member Benefits, we believe in helping Wisconsin public school employees and their families achieve their financial goals by providing personal insurance, retirement and investment, and financial planning programs that are designed specifically for the education community. WEAbenefits.com.
My favorite breakfast is Odyssey yogurt. I asked Mommy where it comes from, and she took me to a dairy farm to learn all about milk and, most importantly, cows. Wisconsin cows are definitely the happiest, which means they make the tastiest yogurt. My favorite is blueberry. What's your flavor? Support your local farmers. EIEI Odyssey.